Hello everyone, and welcome to this DomLabs tutorial where I'm going to teach you how to add a main menu to our car delivery game so that we can go in between the main menu and the pause and our game. To do this, we're going to have to start out by creating a main menu and a pause canvas. So we're going to create a UI canvas. I'm going to name this the main menu canvas. I'm going to zoom out, and then right now I'm going to turn the score canvas off so we can't see it. And inside the main menu canvas, I'm going to create a UI panel. I'm going to name this the background panel, and because this is going to be the background of our main menu. I'm just going to change this to black so that if I go right now, it's just going to have a dark little scene over our game. So now I'm going to have to create a UI text mesh pro, and I'm going to name this name text, and this is going to be the name of our game. So I'm going to put car delivery right here, but you can put here whatever the name of your game is. I'm going to change the font size to something like 64 or maybe something like 108. You can see here that the outline and underlay are the same as what we did in our score, but I don't really want that, so I'm going to just turn off the outline and the underlay. I'm going to align this in the middle and center, and then I'm going to make this a little bigger, and I'm going to move it right into the center and a little bit up, so that looks nice. Maybe just a little bit over, a little bit more. And now I'm going to have to create a few buttons for quitting and for playing our game. So let's create a button, and I'm going to name this our play button. And then I'm just going to zoom this up and put it down. In this play button right here, if I put it right here, if I go under and go to this text, I'm going to change the text to play because I would like to be able to play. So that's what the name of this button is going to be. I'm going to move this button over a little bit to align with the text and maybe scale it down a little bit more. Now I'm going to duplicate this play button and name it the quit button, and this is just going to quit our game. So I'm going to change the text to quit, and then I'm going to scale this down and move it right below the play button so it looks like that. And this looks like a little nice main menu for our game, except they are not all centered. So the name I'm going to center on the X, and as for the play, I'm going to center these all on the X axis so that now it looks centered in our game view. Now I'm going to want to create the pause canvas, and this is going to be basically the same as the main menu canvas. So I'm going to click a UI canvas. I'm going to name this the pause canvas, and then I'm going to turn off the main menu canvas for right now, just so that we can't see it. In the pause canvas, I'm going to create a UI panel. This again is going to be our background panel, and I'm going to again change this to black. And then I'm going to create a UI text. I'm going to name this pause text because this is going to display. Going to change the font size to something like 72, align it in the middle, and zoom it out right here. Change the position on the X to 0, and move it up right here, just so that they know that we are paused. I'm going to maybe change the font size to something like 108. And now I'm going to create a button for our main menu. So create a UI button, main menu button, that's what I will name mine. And then text, I'm going to type main menu. Now this button, I'm going to scale it up, and it's going to take you to the main menu. But I would also like a resume button. So I'm going to duplicate the main menu button, name it resume button, and then change the text to resume. I'm going to move this right below the main menu button so it looks like that. And that's what our pause canvas will look like. Now, what I'm going to do is create a C# script, and I'm going to name this the main menu manager. This is going to manage our main menu and all of the pause canvases, and the things like that. We're going to open that up inside of our choice of coding editor. Up at the top, I'm going to create a few variables. The first one's going to be a public game object main menu. The next is going to be a public game object, and this is going to be our pause menu. So these are our two menus. And now we're going to have to create public methods for every single one of the buttons. So first, let's create a public void quit button. And inside of this button, we're going to do application.quit. Now what application.quit does is it quits your game. It's not going to do anything inside of the editor, but this will quit our game once we've built it and we've published it somewhere. This will quit our game when we push this button. Then I'm going to do a public void play button. And then what I'm going to do is inside of this play button, I'm going to set the main menu .setActive false. So we're going to turn off the main menu. I'm going to turn off the pause menu. So pause menu .setActive false. Then I'm also going to create another public game object, and this is going to be our game. This is just going to be something that we can turn on and off, so we can easily start and stop our game whenever we want to. On the play button, I'm going to turn game.setActive true. Now this is it for the main menu, but for the pause canvas, we're going to need a public void resume button. And for this resume button, we're going to take the pause menu .setActive false, and then game.setActive true. So we're going to set our game to be true. And then we're also going to have to create another variable up at the top. This one's going to be public bool, and it's going to be is paused. It's going to be set to false initially, and then we're going to have to do some things inside of update to see if we're really paused or not. So we're going to check if we're paused. Then we're going to put the pause menu .setActive true. False. If else, so pause menu is not true, then game.setActive true, and the pause menu .setActive is going to be false. So if we're paused, then we want to be in the pause menu, but if we're not paused, then we want to be in our game. And then we're also going to have to check if we click the pause, or if we click the escape button or something like that, then we're going to play. So if input.get key down key code .escape, then we're going to set is paused to be not is paused. Now what this does is it just sets is paused to be whatever its opposite is. So if is paused is true and we click escape, is paused is false. This is also another way to get out of our is paused menu, and we don't always have to click the resume button if we don't want to. Now you remember that we have to create another public void, and this is going to be the main menu button. And this is going to be when we click the main menu button inside of the pause canvas. So I'm going to set game.setActive false. I'm going to set the pause menu .setActive to be false. And then I'm going to set the main menu .setActive true. Now these are all of the methods that we're going to have to create. So we can go back inside of Unity, and I'm going to add the main menu manager script to this, and that's going to look for the main menu, pause menu, and game. The main menu I'm going to drag into here, pause canvas I'm going to set into here, and then for game I'm going to create an empty game object and name it game. and I'm going to drag everything except for the main menu inside of it. And then inside of here, I'm going to set score canvas to be true, so that whenever we're playing, we're going to have the score canvas up. I'm going to drag in the game for game, and you can see right now that the score canvas is not rendering this text on top of the background panel, which is not something that we want. So we can just take that out, and now it's rendering nice. We can turn the outline and underlay on. So now this is what our text will look like. Now what we can do is we can click the play button to see what our game will look like. Now we can see that we are inside the game. If I click escape, then the paused goes in, which is nice. We can see that our put down package is not inside of the game, which is okay. We can change that. But if I click resume, it does nothing, and that's because we haven't set the buttons to do anything yet, which is something we need to do. So inside of the pause canvas, I'm going to go to the main menu button. All the way at the bottom, there's this on click. I'm going to click this plus button, drag in the main menu manager. Inside the no function, I'm going to put main menu manager, and then I'm going to do main menu button. And then for the resume button, I'm going to do the same, click plus, drag in main menu manager, and then I'm going to click main menu manager, resume button. I'm going to do this for the main menu canvas too. I'm going to go to the play button, go to the bottom, click plus, main menu manager, play button. And then finally for the quit, click plus, main menu manager, quit button. And now, to fix the problem that our little packages are not inside the game, we can go to our score manager or our driving manager right here where it's creating these. And then what we can do is we can create a public game object for our game, and this is going to be where we want to put them. So right here after quaternion.identity, I'm going to type game, and then game, and then make sure we do game.transform after each of these, and now it will set each of these as a child under our game. After we put this game.transform, I'm going to want to go to the main menu manager, because inside this resume button, I'm going to set is paused to be false. And that is just something we have to do very quick. I'm also going to have to set is paused to be false inside of the main menu button when we go out of the pause menu. And every single time we set the pause menu to be false, I'm also going to have to set is paused to be false. So we can do this in basically every single one of our buttons here. So now we can go back and click play, and once we are inside play mode, I click escape and escape. If I click escape again and I click resume, it gives us back to our game. If I click escape and main menu, it brings us to this, and then I can click play, and now I can drive around, and then I can drive around. It's our main menu. If I go to this, if I click quit doesn't do anything, which is okay because it's not supposed to in the editor, but if I click play, then I can play our game again. And that is exactly what I wanted to happen. So with that, this tutorial is finished. If you like this tutorial, please give our channel a like and a subscribe because it really helps out a ton. Thank you!